everybody, it's Dr. Joe and Princess Remy, and today I'm going to show you my 10 best stretches and exercises for a herniated cervical disc. So let's get started. Disclaimer alert, disclaimer alert. So the first stretch is kind of a stretch and an exercise, and that's going to be a chin tuck. Chin tucks are one of my favorites. Not only do they help if you have a disc issue in your neck, but they also help just kind of re-correcting your posture. And so they're really easy to do. You can do them almost anywhere. So a chin tuck is not tucking it down like this, but you're tucking your chin in. So you're trying to get that neck into a normal position. So I like to sometimes just use my finger as a target. So I'm going to keep my finger here and I'm going to try and bring my chin away from it. So I'm taking my head and moving it backwards. And then so just holding it for about 3 to 5 seconds and then relaxing. A lot of times once you relax, there's a little bit of space in between your finger. And that means that it just gives you a good visual feedback that you're actually resetting those muscles, getting you back into that position. So you don't have to put your finger there. You can just pull that chin in and you can see it kind of flattens out and gives me a bunch of little chins right there. And then again, holding that for 3 to 5 seconds and then coming back. So sometimes this is a little hard for people if they've got some stiffness in their neck or even if they have that disc issue in their neck. But just work on it a little bit, and the more you do it, the more you'll actually be able to get that head actually going back. But keep that chin in that neutral position so it's not tucking in like that or tucking in like that. You're really just bringing it straight back and then letting those muscles kind of relax once you let it go. So then the next one is going to be isometric exercises for your neck. And isometric exercises are really, you're activating the muscle, but you're not really moving it. So it does a good job of kind of getting some stiffness out of the muscles, starting to get some strength in the muscles, but you're not doing the big movements that might still hurt your neck at the time. So what you're going to do is we're going to start off with what would be a side bend. But again, I'm not actually moving into that side bend. I'm going to place my hand on my head and then push into it. And you should see my muscles here activating a little bit. And just again, a 3 to 5 second hold and then relax. I'm not pushing as hard as I can, especially the first couple times I do these isometrics. I'm doing maybe 20 to 30% of my push. And then later on the next day, if it's not sore, then I can push 40 to 50 and then 60, and then 70 and so forth. But make sure you're doing both sides. So then this is the movement I would do. And then I'm pushing in 3 to 5 seconds and then relaxing. Do 5 on each side. You can alternate back and forth if you want, or you can just do them all on one side and then do all on the other side. But make sure you're doing both sides. So the next isometric one is turning your head from side to side. And so that would be what we would call rotation. So again, I'm just placing my hand here. I would be turning into my hand. So then again, I'm pushing, but now I'm getting the rotational movement. So you can probably see a little bit of those muscles activating that 3 to 5 seconds. Then my hand on the other side, and then I'm turning in that way. So 3 to 5 seconds, 5 on each side. I like to alternate back and forth, but you can do them all on one side if you want to. So then the next one is going to be to get some neck or cervical extension. And so when we have a disc issue, a lot of times if you can get that extension movement at the right level, you're going to actually kind of push that disc back in a little bit. So using a towel to kind of stabilize the bottom part so you can move the top part actually does a really good job. So I'm going to put the towel, around this one level, and then it's staying, and then I'm going to move my head back into that extension. So you're probably not going to be exact to start off with, so sometimes I say just move it up a little bit each time. But what I'm going to do is I'm taking this towel and I'm pulling it forward this way to help kind of stabilize the bottom part of the spine. And so I'm pushing or pulling forward, and then I'm just going to look back and up going into that extension. So doing that motion at the same time while I'm pushing forward. So I'm stabilizing that bottom segment and moving that top one. And you can go at each level of your spine and just do maybe 5 to 10 of those at each one. And that really helps kind of loosen everything up. It's a really nice way to get some movement in there. So now we want to stretch out all the muscles around our neck. So we got some big muscles in the back. We've got some little smaller muscles up in the front. So let's start off with an upper trap stretch, and that's that big top of the triangle muscle in the back of your neck. And a lot of times when it's tight, it's putting a lot of pressure on your cervical spine in that neck area and pushing on that disc. So when you're going to stretch your upper trap, I like kind of sitting on my hand of the side that I want to stretch. And what that does is that just keeps that shoulder down. You don't have to sit on it, but I feel like you're going to get a better stretch. Then all you're going to do is take your other hand and pull your head gently towards the opposite side, like I'm trying to take that ear to the other shoulder. But keep the shoulder down. Don't bring it up, but just gently pull over this way. And you should feel that stretch right in through here. So nice gentle stretch, just holding that stretch. So since this is a full stretch, you want to hold it for 30 seconds. And then switch sides. So sitting here, pulling it over gently, getting that stretch, and doing 3 on each side. Again, I like to alternate back and forth just because that makes it where you can give each side just a little bit of a break. So before I go on to my next exercise, I want to do a wall of thanks for some of my folks that have supported me on the wall of thanks. And so Catherine H., Louise W., and Elon M. Thank you so much for supporting me. And if you're interested in being on the wall of thanks, find out how by clicking on the link in the description below. So the next stretch is going to be for our levator scap. And that levator scapulae muscle is the one that kind of holds our shoulders up. It elevates it or lifts it. And when we have a lot of stress and tension, that's the muscle that really holds a lot of that tension. So it gets tight a lot, comes all the way up into the neck, so it can put a lot of pressure on that neck or that cervical area. So this time, the side that you want to stretch, you're going to put your hand up where you're trying to bring your elbow up towards the ceiling. Now sometimes people can't do that, that's okay. You can also just raise your arm up, but you don't have to do that either. This is just now that's pushing that shoulder blade or that scapula down to give you a better stretch. But you don't have to do that, I just feel like you're going to get a better stretch. So I'm going to bring this side up of the side that I want to stretch, and then I'm going to take my other hand and put it behind my head. I'm going to pull down at an angle, about a 45-degree angle, towards my opposite knee. So I want my nose to point towards my opposite knee when I'm going down. So I'm stretching this way. So it's not stretching to the side, it's not stretching forward, it's stretching at that angle to really get that stretch right through back there. That's where you should feel that stretch. So again, this is a full 30-second hold, and you want to do 3 on each side. So then the next stretch is going to be for your anterior scalene muscles. These are the ones in the front here. So the way to stretch those is to take your opposite hand and kind of push down on your collarbone. And that just, again, kind of helps stabilize everything. Then you're going to turn towards the side that you want to stretch and look up towards the ceiling. And so you can see right here, that's where I'm getting all those stretches, those scalene muscles right there. And so again, you're holding that for 30 seconds and doing 3 on each side. So really getting it nice and stretched out. So then we're gonna go into some exercises where we are getting some movement. So the next one is just gonna be scapular squeezes. And our scapula, our scapulae have more than 20 muscles attached to them, and a lot of them go up into our neck. So that's really why it's important to get those moving, get everything moving in the right place. So for a scapular squeeze, you want to almost imagine that somebody's hand is on your spine, and you're just going to squeeze those shoulder blades back. Now you can use your elbows to kind of guide your shoulder blades going back, but don't just use your elbows. So see, if I'm just using my elbows, I'm not actually getting that squeeze. But sometimes when you first start doing it, you can get a better squeeze if you use your elbows, but you don't have to. You can just squeeze them back this way. But try and keep your shoulders down when you're squeezing, so you're not coming up like this, but you're squeezing down and back. Hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then do 10 of those a couple times throughout the day. And that's really going to kind of help reset that and get some strengthening in there as well. So then the next one is going to be lying down. And so the side that you want to work is going to be up on top. So this one, if you can, you're going to lie down and put your arm just kind of out so you can rest your head on it, so your head stays in a neutral position. So all I'm going to do is just lift my head up to the side and come back down. So I'm working these muscles on the side, but I'm supporting it in a neutral position and then bringing it up. So I'm trying to keep everything straight forward here. So I'm not looking up like this. I'm not coming like this, but I'm really almost just trying to bring that ear towards my shoulder. So with this one, you can do 10 to 15, couple sets, a couple times throughout the day, but make sure you're switching sides. So then the next one, so you can get some extension, is to get on all fours or in quadruped. And you're gonna just put your head in a neutral position here, and then you're gonna lift up into extension and then come all the way down so you're getting that full motion. And then coming back up. And again, if you've got a disc issue, you might not be able to come all the way up without some pain. So make sure it's a pain-free motion. So if you can only come up to about right there, that's okay. But each time try and go a little bit more as long as it's in a comfortable position. And then the last one is just going to be a cat dog, because again, you want to kind of get that upper back as well as that cervical area. And this is one of my favorite stretches. It always feels really good. So the cat stretch, you're going to arch your back up and tuck in your chin. So just like when a cat is stretching, you're coming up like this. Just hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds and then drop down into the dog, or some people call it a cow, and then lift your head up again. So again, you want it to be in a pain-free motion. So if that's uncomfortable, you can bring your head down just a little bit and just alternate back and forth, maybe 5 times each way, holding it 3 to 5 seconds. So there you have it. Those are my 10 best stretches and exercises for a herniated cervical disc. If you'd like to help support my channel, make sure and click on the link up there. And don't forget to subscribe. Where? Down there. And remember, be safe, have fun, and I hope you feel better soon.